Hello, welcome to episode 4 of my Topical Ramble series. In this one, I want to talk about what I won't do for views on YouTube or Twitch or whatever outlets that you can have in order to be able to put your content, video content, sharing all of that stuff out there. So, hence the title, What I Won't Do for Views. I've seen throughout the video game community some channels, not all, in fact that some of these channels are in the minority, certainly the ones that I follow, that over time have shifted focus away from being about video games and more about commenting on drama that exists within the YouTube gaming community or just the YouTube community at large. And it seems that the focus of these channels have shifted away from chatting about games, talking about gaming news and so on and so forth, into like an attempt to somehow create a piggyback onto the drama in order to get views. Some channels, in fact, are created that do nothing more than that. You see, there's some channels you actually can tell by the name of the channel. You know, they will incorporate the channel or the person on a channel that they want to attack and critique, and they base their entire channel on that, and then they end up getting views because in the YouTube's algorithm, they'll make a derogatory comment about something that somebody's put in a video, and then that will appear in the recommended videos sidebar thing when you're watching it. So the people that do this are doing this by design. It's done on purpose. They know what they're doing. This isn't some happy accident. They're doing it purposefully to simply piggyback onto a larger channel and get views. It's almost like a for want of a better phrase, almost like a parasitic existence. They need that person that they're critiquing all the time, or the people that they're critiquing all the time, to keep making content, to keep them relevant. And it's an easy way, like I say, it's an easy way of getting views because you are manipulating how YouTube works. And quite often, you'll see some of these channels, they're not even creating any original content. They just take the video that somebody else has done, and they play the video, and they might do some kind of weird robotic voiceover, or they might put some text on the screen. It's very, very minimal input from them, and they get a load of views. Now, I'm not ranting here that, oh, they get views and I don't, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, I ain't going to do that to get views. Okay, that is not how I want this channel to become. I started out a number of years ago, I think nearly 5-6 years ago now on YouTube, and I built quite an audience in those early few months of putting video content up, to the point where, I look back on some of my videos and I've got thousands and thousands of views on some of those older videos. And because I focused more on the time, it was more retro focused. I had a sizable retro games collection for some older consoles and what have you, and I was putting videos up of that, and I was doing quite well. And then certain things happened. Health took a bit of a turn, and I ended up selling a number of those retro consoles. I still have some, but I sold some of the more, should I say, higher value ones because finances dictated that I had to do that, and I kind of lost interest in it all. I backed away, I think, for around a 6-month period away from YouTube, and in that time, obviously, if you go away, people just automatically assume that you're not doing it anymore. They either unsubscribe or you lose touch with your audience. Basically, it's why a lot of people that make a living off YouTube putting regular content out there, daily, at least one video a day is absolutely important, because you've got to show that you're an active channel. And my viewers dropped off. When I came back after that hiatus and I started making videos again, the direction of the channel kind of changed, because I didn't have as many retro consoles to play games on. or certainly as many retro games as I used to have to play with, and I started to do more modern day gaming as well. I mean, I never intended the channel to be focused on either one. It was just how it was at the time, and my viewers pretty much evaporated. I mean, even now my viewers have been steadily declining now, and like my recent videos post Christmas, none of them have hit 100 views. So it is what it is. I was the architect of my own problem to some extent, and you want to get views. You don't want to feel like you're talking to yourself. Nobody wants to feel that, but it is what it is. And I get sometimes. I'd get a bit disheartened because I think, well, what's the point? If I'm only getting a small number of views, is it really worthwhile carrying on? And a little while back, I had about a month or so ago, I sat down and I thought, is there any point in doing this? If this isn't, if nobody's interested, is there any point in doing it? And you reach that crossroads. It's either I stop doing this, or I carry on and just carry on regardless. And part of what I did was to just sit down and think, well, why am I doing this? Why did I started doing this in the first place? I never started doing this in the first place to get views. It was a happy accident how certain videos had a lot of views in the first instance. So, that was part of it. And I thought, look, I'm doing this for myself. I started this channel for myself. To just share my opinions on things on gaming. YouTube was a platform that enabled me to do that, and subsequently that's what I did. And I don't ever feel obliged that I have to make a video a week, a video a day, or whatever. If I go on a bit of a run and do that, that's great. If I don't, that's fine. As I've said in my previous video with regards to where's the fair usage, my previous Topical Ramble video, I don't get any money from this. I'm not financially dependent on this. I mean, it would be great if I had the kind of viewership that a Jim Sterling had, or Review Tech USA had, or guys like that who I could make money from. From having a substantial audience. That'd be great, but that brings its own pressures and stresses, especially when it comes to the whole copyright business as well. So, there's pros and cons for it. I'm happy in the space that I'm in with this channel at the moment. I'm happy doing what I do because it means something to me, and it means that when I do a video and I put a video up, I'm comfortable with the content of that video. I don't feel like I'm just trying to piggyback onto somebody else. I don't feel like I'm trying to, be a part of some drama or something like that just to get views. What I put out there, it's just my own content, what I want to say, take it or leave it. If it gets 30 views, fine. If it got 3,000 views, hell, that's great. But I'm not going to chase views, okay? I am not, and what I mean by that is I'm not going to start making videos that are designed to slot into some algorithm on YouTube that's going to get views on the back of somebody else's stuff. I'm not talking about doing video responses. I mean, I'm talking about getting involved in drama in the YouTube community or anything like that has absolutely nothing to do with me and that I'm not interested in, just simply to get views. I don't think that is the way forward. I'm not going to start calling people out and criticising people on this channel with a view to creating, a drama environment of my own just to get people to come to the channel and give me views that can help grow this channel. That's not what I want to do. The channel is mine, the content is mine. I'm happy with the content. If you don't like it, fine. If you don't like my voice, fine. If you don't like what I do, that's fine, because I would much rather have the viewers that I have, that I know are genuine viewers, that I know are people who like what I do. I would much rather that than anything else. That is more important to me. Because that is why I set the channel up in the first place. If I was just going to chase views, if I just wanted to try to make this channel earn me money for a period of time as a way of a living, if that was my primary focus, then I would have done things a lot differently. I'm not stupid, I'm not naive. I would have done things a lot differently, but I chose not to, and I'm fine with that. I went through my why am I doing this moment, like everybody I think would do, because you don't want to be a busy fool. If I wasn't getting any views at all on my videos, well, what's the point? I guess you really are then just doing it for the hell of it. But this was always done just so I can share my views on things, and if like-minded people liked what I had to say, that's great. If people weren't interested in what I have to say, that's great. There's never going to be any coercion going on here. I'm never going to be that person that is constantly banging on about, this, I'm not getting this and I'm not getting that. Why is this person getting this? Blah. It's just not what I do, and it's not what I'm going to do. Because I think if you get involved in that kind of drama, at some point you're going to run out of things to say, and what you're going to be left with is the prospect of having to deal with the fact that suddenly your channel doesn't have any content other than that. People quickly do tire of hearing the same old thing over and over again. People do move on. So in order to maintain those viewers, you have to keep getting involved in the drama side of things, and that can be very, very tiring. And it's not something that appeals to me whatsoever. I just want to talk about games. I just want to talk about game-related news. If somebody within the games industry does or says something that I don't agree with, I'll talk about it. I am not going to start, lambasting people. I'm not going to suddenly start, calling people out personally or anything like that in my videos, because if a Phil Spencer or a Mark Cerny or whoever does something or says something that I don't agree with, I feel that I'm able to disagree with that person on a civil basis, and think about what they've said, look at the arguments for and against, and formulate an opinion, or a semi-intelligent opinion that I can share with people, without the need of going overboard in being offensive or being critical in order to just get views. That's not what I want. That is not what I want for the channel. It's not what I would want for me. I have enough self-respect to think that I don't need to get involved in that. And as I've said, I've always said, look, if my channel suddenly blew up, suddenly I became flavour of the month, I could make, a few pennies out of doing this. That's fine, but it won't be at the expense of what I believe as a person. It won't be at the expense of doing what I do, which I think, is honest to myself. Because when this all goes away, and believe me, for everybody that makes money on YouTube, unless you're in the very, very top echelon, it's all going to go away someday. Alright? It doesn't matter what people think. This is a passing thing. Everything is everything in life changes. Everything moves on. It's the lessons we're learning in the video game industry now. Nothing has any permanence to it. So, especially things that are a trend, people will start to look elsewhere and they'll go away from it. And then what you're left with, at the end of the day, your integrity and is the only thing that you can take with you. And I'm not prepared to trade that down the river just in order to get views on something that ultimately will be temporary. How long this will last for, I don't know. But someday it will go away. Someday YouTube will become such a restricted place. It's not too far from that now, that being able to share content like I am doing here with this video and talk about these things, it'll be gone. And then, what you're left with. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Just wanted to get that one out of the way. Thanks for watching.